When my best friend nearly killed me, I smiled instead of screaming. I don't know why I smiled. Maybe it was shock, maybe it was disbelief. Or maybe, deep down, I already knew this day might come, but it hurt, more than I could ever put into words. We had been inseparable for years. I trusted her more than anyone in the world. We shared secrets, dreams, and fears. I told her things I never told my family, things I never even admitted to myself. I thought she understood me. I thought she would always be there. But I was wrong. It started with small things. Little lies, tiny omissions. I brushed them off. I told myself, maybe she's just having a bad day. Maybe I'm overthinking. But something in me whispered that the warning signs were there, quietly waiting for me to notice. The day it happened, I was alone at home. The rain was tapping softly against the window. I remember the smell of wet earth mixed with the faint aroma of tea I had made earlier. Everything seemed normal. The world outside my window was calm. But inside, everything was about to change. When I heard her footsteps at the door, my heart beat fast. She smiled, the same smile she always wore. That smile that once made me feel safe. I had no idea what was coming. One moment, I was laughing at a memory from our childhood. The next, I was fighting for my life. I never imagined someone I loved could hurt me like this. I never imagined betrayal could feel so cold, so precise. And yet here I was, shaking confused, wondering how I had been blind for so long. Even now, when I think about it, I can feel the fear, the confusion, and the shock. But I also remember the moment I decided I wouldn't let this break me. I wouldn't let her take my peace, my spirit, or my heart. I grew up in a small town, the kind where everyone knows everyone else. I was an ordinary girl with ordinary dreams. But my friendship with her, that was extraordinary. Her name was Lisa. We met in high school on the first day of 10th grade. I had just moved into the area, shy and nervous. She came up to me with that bright, confident smile and said, "Hey, I've got your back." From that day on, we were inseparable. We laughed together, cried together, and shared every secret. She was the sister I never had. We spent summers at each other's houses, late nights whispering under blankets, talking about love, school, and the future. She knew everything about me, my fears, my hopes, the dreams I didn't even tell my parents. And I knew her the same way. Our families became close too. My parents trusted her completely, and I trusted hers. We celebrated birthdays together, went on holidays together. I thought that kind of connection lasted forever. But like all stories, there were cracks we didn't see at first. She was ambitious, maybe too ambitious. She wanted to succeed at any cost. At first, I admired it. But then I started noticing small things, little secrets she kept from me. Things that didn't add up. A borrowed shirt that never came back. A lie about a canceled plan. Small, seemingly harmless, but they piled up. I tried to ignore it. I told myself, she's stressed. She's just distracted. I'm imagining things. And I clung to the good times, the laughter, the bond. That bond felt unbreakable, or so I thought. Then came the night of the party. It wasn't anything unusual, just a small gathering at a friend's house. But that night, something shifted. I saw a side of her I had never seen before. Jealousy, anger. Something dark flickered in her eyes. I told myself it was nothing. She was tired, maybe even drunk. But I couldn't shake it. My stomach turned, a sense of unease settling over me. I remember walking home afterward, alone in the quiet streets, thinking, I don't like that look she gave me tonight. I didn't know then that it was a warning I would almost not survive. The weeks after the party were tense. Things started to unravel slowly, almost imperceptibly. She began showing up at odd times, sometimes uninvited. Sometimes she would ask about my plans in ways that felt probing, invasive. I tried to brush it off. She's just concerned, I told myself. But the truth was, she was changing. Conversations that used to be easy and fun became tense. I would feel her eyes on me, studying me. There was a possessiveness I hadn't noticed before. One evening, I remember she asked, "Do you really need to see him again?" I froze, my heart raced. "What do you mean?" I asked cautiously. She shrugged casually, but the look in her eyes made my stomach sink. "You know, him, the one you've been talking to." Do you really need to keep seeing him? I felt anger rise, but also confusion. Lisa, it's none of your business, I said, trying to keep my voice steady. Her smile was cold. Everything is my business, she whispered, almost like a warning. That night, I lay awake in bed, my thoughts spinning. The friend I trusted the most was now watching my every move. And I didn't know why. It escalated slowly. I noticed her reading my messages when I wasn't looking, questioning my choices, guilt-tripping me about the people I spent time with. I tried talking to her about it. I tried to reason. I don't know why you're acting like this, I said once. She laughed softly. You don't know? You never do. That night, I realized the person I loved like a sister had begun to see me as something to control. I wanted to leave, but I didn't. I wanted to end the friendship, but fear held me back. Fear of loneliness. Fear of losing what I thought was the best bond of my life. Then came the night it all turned. It was raining heavily. I was at home, and I remember feeling uneasy for no reason. She knocked on my door. I opened it. She smiled. That smile, that same smile I once trusted, hid something terrifying. I thought I could come in? She asked, voice soft, almost pleading. I hesitated, but I let her in. We sat in the living room, the rain tapping on the window, the lights dim. And then she attacked. I barely had time to react. The fight was frantic, desperate. She wasn't just angry. She wanted to hurt me, and maybe worse. I remember thinking, I can't believe this is happening. My mind raced, my body froze. I fought back, not knowing what I was capable of. The minutes felt like hours. And then somehow I escaped. Blood on my hands, fear in my heart, betrayal searing through me. After that night, everything changed. I couldn't trust anyone. I couldn't trust her. I couldn't trust myself for not seeing it sooner. The police were involved. Questions asked, statements taken. And yet, the hardest part wasn't the legal consequences. It was the emotional fallout. The grief, the disbelief. I replayed the events in my mind over and over. How did I not see it? How could she do this to me? I thought about the years of friendship, the secrets we shared, the laughter. All of it tainted now. I cried quietly in my room, staring at the wall, feeling small and broken. Friends reached out, family offered support, but I felt isolated, like no one could understand the betrayal. The person I had trusted the most had turned into a threat. There were moments when I considered giving up. Giving up on trust, giving up on love. But something inside me whispered, you are stronger than this. You survived. I started therapy. I started talking, really talking, about the fear, the anger, the grief. I began to understand her actions. Not excuse them, but understand them. Something in her had always been broken, but I realized I didn't have to be broken too. Slowly, I rebuilt my life. I moved, I changed routines. I surrounded myself with people who truly cared. And every day I told myself I am alive, I am safe, I am worth more than this pain. Time became my healer, not completely, but enough to breathe again. I forgave her, not for her, but for me. Forgiveness didn't mean forgetting. It didn't mean going back. It meant releasing the hold of anger and fear over my heart. I learned to trust again, carefully, slowly. I learned to listen to my instincts. I learned that love and friendship are precious, but so is safety. I still remember the night she came to my door, the terror, the betrayal. But I also remember the courage I found in myself. That night, I survived. That night, I learned the strength I never knew I had. I rebuilt my friendships, ones that were true and loyal. I learned to enjoy the small things again. Coffee in the morning, laughter, rain on the windows, quiet moments alone. Life is fragile, I realized. Trust is fragile. And yet life is also beautiful, even after pain. I chose to focus on the good, on the people who loved me unconditionally, on the moments that brought me joy, and slowly I felt peace return. Looking back, I am grateful, not for what she did, but for what I learned. I learned that even when the people you love betray you, your heart can heal. I learned that strength comes from survival, from facing fear and refusing to be defeated. I still think of her sometimes, not with anger, not with desire for revenge, but with a quiet sadness for the friendship we lost and for the person I once trusted. I live differently now. I am more careful. I am more aware. I cherish those who truly care. And I carry with me a lesson that is hard but true. Love and trust are precious, but so is self-preservation. If you are listening to this story, I want you to remember this. Betrayal can happen, even from those closest to you. But it does not define you. Your courage defines you. Your ability to rise, to rebuild, to live again, that is what matters. So I smile. Not the shocked smile I wore that night, but a real one. A smile of survival. A smile that says, I am here. I am alive. I will live my life fully, no matter what. And if you take one thing from my story, let it be this. Value yourself, trust your instincts, and never let anyone dim your light. Life moves on, hearts heal. And even after the darkest night,